All right, everybody. So we are here at the beginning of Treat Mountain, and bugs are definitely a thing here in Alabama. I'm getting swarmed by mosquitoes as we speak, and we have already had tragedy. I know if you've seen us on Instagram or Facebook, you'll know that we started this with 4 Jeeps. Well, we are now down to 3 Jeeps. We had 2 things happen on the way. We had caliper lock up on Timothy's TJ. So we fixed it on the side of the road, but the caliper itself is locking up. The slide was locking up as well. We fixed the slide, couldn't fix the caliper itself because, but we thought it was going to be all right. We got about, 3/4 of the way here, and we had to go ahead and abandon that project and left his Jeep at the parking lot at Jack's, and he jumped in with me. And then also this jack wagon right here. Say hey, jack wagon. Yeah, he knows he's taking the walk of shame this afternoon. Didn't wash the mud off his Jeep last time, and ended up overheating, so he had to go to the pressure washer and clean his Jeep up.
For sissies anyway.
Yeah, that's what. And so we were about to get started, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, by the way, guys, this road is one of the last of its kind. Please don't litter.
This is an unimproved, unmaintained county road. So not many of these left around, so that's what they're meaning when they say it's the last of its kind.
Alrighty.
Treat Mountain has a very interesting past, to say the least. In 1975, it was owned by a developer, and he was pupwooding this area when he was approached by a guy with a business opportunity for him. He needed him to build him a runway. It was about 1,500 feet long so that he could land a plane there. And that plane was going to be coming from Columbia, South Carolina, carrying 7,000 pounds of marijuana. That's right, 7,000 pounds of marijuana. Now, the plane that they were bringing this in on was not some small plane either. It was a DC-4. It was a passenger plane that you would have flown in if you were flying with a major airline back in the 70s. It was a monster, and they were going to land this thing on a 1,500-foot runway in the dirt. Well, it was raining and muddy just like it always is in Georgia and Alabama. And when they landed with no problem. But it was clear that they weren't going to be able to get it out of there. So they were going to have to take a loss on the plane. Well, they loaded it up in a couple of trucks, and they headed out. And the plan was to sell it in Atlanta. And so they loaded it up, and wherever they left, they passed a cop car, and that cop car was thinking that they were hauling moonshine because they were coming from out in the woods like that. So moonshine being illegal back then, being during Prohibition days or everything, they decided to pull them over. And when they pulled them over, they actually found lots of marijuana, so they took them to jail. There was a total of 12 of them that were arrested. I think it was 2 trucks, and there was 12 of them arrested. And they were actually they got out on bond and flew 15 more of those trips before they were actually before their smuggling operation was brought to an end. But there's actually a movie about this. It's called In Hot Pursuit. It was produced by Adam West, and in 1977. So you got to check it out and see what it's all about. It's a pretty interesting little story, I have to say. So check that out.
With a piece in my hand and bloodshot eyes, I walked to the water for a last goodbye. He begged so much, it clouded my mind. One thing's clear, the man's gotta die. Might makes right, so he said, when he held all the keys over our head. I lived holding that grip, but now he'll learn at the end with the tables turned. Lord, forgive me and take me on down the river where the guilt can't find a red-handed sinner. On where the grave can't cry out, 'cause I done wrong. Down the river with a hand on a Colt and a finger on the trigger, and long before dawn they try to find me. So take me on down. Take me on down. Well, I sank that body by the riverbank, caught a boat south, took off like a hurricane, with spotlights, dogs, hit the whole 9 yards, of breathing down my neck and breathing hard. 2 weeks in a wild chase across the highways, mountains, over 7 states. Found a man at the harbor, said that he could take me across the ocean somewhere far away. Lord, forgive me and take me on down the river where the guilt can't find a red-handed sinner. On where the grave can cry out, 'cause I done wrong. Down the river with a hand on a Colt and a finger on the trigger, and long before dawn they try to find me. So take me on down. Take me on down. I never saw him coming on the boarding planks now, staring down a barrel at point blank range. I make for the water, jumping off the ledge, but not before I catch through to the chest. Now there's blood and water filling up my lungs, blood and water filling up my lungs. My heart is beating like a fading drum. Lord, forgive me, here I come. Take me on down the river where the guilt can't find a red-handed sinner. On where the grave can't cry out, 'cause I done wrong. Down the river with a hand on a Colt and a finger on the trigger, and long before dawn they try to find me. So take me on down. Oh, take me on down. Oh, take me, just take me on down. Oh, take me on down.
All right. All right. So, and this is dried up, fellas. And you see how much mud that is? That's all soft too. That's pretty deep. That's
waist deep.
it's waist deep, but the mud is a good 24 inches deep. So
Call that one Swamp King.
that one's called Swamp King, and it is the one that T-Bone got buried up into, got mud all in his radiator and everything. So
He got as far like his rear axle barely got off the hump right there coming down before it hung him up.
huh? So it's a little deeper than what you realize. That when you see that film on the top of mud holes like that, that usually means that it ain't for the faint of heart.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon. When it rains, it pours. Water's up to my chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it. Many men have failed. Well, if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. And I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
They're holding on for dear life. Look at there. Beta's holding on to Daisy so Daisy don't go flying out.
Will you find me? Hope you find me. When the sun rises, when the sun we're trying to catch me howling at the moon. Trying to catch me howling at the moon. We're trying to catch me howling at the moon. Trying to catch me. Trying to catch me. Trying to catch me howling at the moon. Trying to catch me. Trying to catch me howling at the moon.
All in all, this was just a really fun trail. It was nothing technical or anything like that, just a lot of fun and a lot of beautiful scenery. We have great scenery here in Alabama. It's called Alabama the Beautiful for good reason. All the green is just amazing. It's something that we don't see much out in California. We don't get to see all this green like this a lot in Southern California anyway. And it was just really nice to come home and be able to go into the woods and see this. And you know, you can actually get lost in the woods out here and not be able to see your way out. And that's just really nice. You can be not so far, but be really way out there. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
All right, so we're here at the scene of the accident, so to speak. This is where we left Timothy's Jeep whenever he had the issue with his brakes. And what's happening is this caliper right here, it's locking up on him, so we had to leave it here, and then we went on the trail. But we finished up the trail today. It was fun. Nothing too challenging. I did most of it in two-wheel drive. And it's just a fun scenic trail. Had a good time. That's about all I got to say about it, but still a lot of trail to run. We didn't get that much run, so we'll definitely be back to check out the rest of it. Now this trail is dry today because we haven't had any rain, and oh my goodness, the dust was ridiculous. But normally this trail is covered in water and mud, so I imagine the level of difficulty would increase whenever you've got the mud on there. And not to mention, it wouldn't be quite as dusty. My glasses are covered in dust, my Jeep's covered in dust. It's just pitiful. But anyway, until next time, this is Kevin with Gray Line Overland, and I hope to see you on the trail.